7,825 college students die each year from alcohol-related unintentional injuries, states Dr. Margaret L. Waits, who serves as the Christina Cares Director of the Division of Adolescent and Young Adult Medicine Services. College and high school students are abusing drugs and alcohol every single day. It is only a matter of time before their addiction becomes uncontrollable and soon results into life-threatening problems. I myself am a high school student athlete, and it wasn't until this year did I realize that at every football game I cheered at, almost half the entire football team was under the influence of alcohol or narcotics. These students are facing problems academically and personally. Drug and alcohol abuse are usually the typical quick fix, but due to the enormous amount of substance abuse used by student athletes, I would like to first explain and allow you all to understand the severity of these problems that these students face, and determine whether or not drug testing for high school and collegiate schools are appropriate. I will then discuss how schools can potentially prevent their student athletes from being underneath the influence. This will include the process of the athletes taking drug tests throughout the season, as well as the athletes signing a contract for proof that they agree to be given these drug tests at any moment. However, playing a sport doesn't affect your grades in school. It's what the athletes do in their free time that really causes these problems. Instead of doing homework or simply going home and studying and being in a positive environment, these athletes are choosing to hang out with their friends that negatively influence each other. This is being done due to the pressure and anxiety that they are feeling from trying to balance academics and sports. The National Collegiate Athletic Association, also known as the NCAA, releases their findings from an athletic study, substance use study. This study shows substance use is usually higher among male student athletes. Although similar percentages of male and female student athletes report using alcohol, men are usually the ones who use substances such as narcotics. This chart provided by Dr. Waits shows the increase of male athletes and their drug use. As you can see, lacrosse has the most players who use narcotics. For example, for the use of cigarette percentages in 2005 is 21.3%, and in the year 2009 it increased to 32.2%. Men are proven to be found more addicted to drugs than women are, but whether the addiction is with drugs or alcohol, there is still a major downfall in grades. Grades are not the only thing that these students are giving up on and not caring about. Healthy lifestyles are being overlooked due to the excessive amount of unhealthy foods, as well as a lack of care from the high school and collegiate students. According to the Mayo Clinic, regardless of why these high schoolers and college athletes are using these drugs, they can still have serious side effects, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, heart problems, psychiatric disorders, and halted growth and development are among the side effects that become from performance-enhancing drugs. Side effects one may receive are very likely, and they are also very life-changing. For instance, a baseball senior named Taylor Hooten hung himself from depression after he discontinued his use of steroids. Taylor's doctor informs that the sense of euphoria and aggression and accompany that the use of steroids can be replaced by lethargy, loss of confidence, melancholy, and hopelessness when a person stops using performance-enhancing drugs. Unhealthy lifestyles can lead to severe problems or even cause death. So let's look at a few ways that we can persuade schools to help all student athletes improve their grades and influence their lives for the better. For starters, let's encourage the schools to allow drug tests. By doing this, we can potentially prevent high school and college athletes from abusing drugs and alcohol, or even better, get them to stop altogether. We would allow these young adults to become safer and smarter, not only in school, but as well as in their everyday lives. Grades will skyrocket, and their path to a healthier lifestyle will begin. Now, I know what you're all thinking. How exactly are we going to convince these student athletes to take these drug tests? A helpful way the schools can get the process started is by providing a contract that the athlete must sign to give the authorities permission to allow these drug tests. The drug test should be given at certain times throughout the season, such as the beginning or before any major games, such as playoffs. Also, the drug test should be given if any coach or school authority has reasonable suspicion that the student is under the influence. Several high schools are giving student athletes these drug tests, and the rates are declining intensively. To wrap things up, college and high school student athletes all over the world need our help to promote these drug tests. Their grades are plummeting, and they're suffering due to the amount of alcohol and drugs that their bodies are taking in. These students need us to believe in them and to provide them hope that they can live better lives. So let's stand together to fight for these young athletes who are searching for a better life, and let them grow and help them improve the younger generations. Without your help, it is very possible that the drug use can become worse and affect our children or even grandchildren. So let us stand together to fight and stay above the influence.